Hello, I'm Lise-Lotte. I would like to share a story with you this afternoon, and it is a true story from a number of years ago. I was sitting in the ICU hallway in a hospital, waiting to go in to see my dad, who had just had open heart surgery. And my mom at that time was home in a wheelchair, and so I was the one to go and get the news and bring it back to her. My children were in school. And as I was waiting in the hallway, I was knitting, and I realized actually this is the exact bag that I had made at that time, and this is the thing that I was knitting. And you know, it's nothing really, but I mean, it's just cotton. And I realized because there was a when it was my turn, this nurse, invited me in to go see my dad, and she said, "Hey, what are you knitting?" And I said, "Actually, nothing, like nothing at all. I just knitting." And this might end up being, or I could probably finish it now, and it would end up being some kind of dishcloth. But it's not about the masterpiece. It's not about the even what you're making. It's that you are making. And I think that in those moments, and there were lots of them at that time, in those moments, this making, whatever it was, if it was my knitting or something else, it was the piece that kept me. Like it was the piece that kept me in all of the things where you could lose yourself completely in all of the caregiving years. It was the thing that held me closest to my heart, and where I felt fully me when I was just in those moments. So my creativity actually has gone alongside me, and I have kept it alongside me through all kinds of difficult things. So, now when I talk about, it's creativity is not a thing where finish your vegetables first before you get to have your dessert. It's actually not that at all. It's not the finishing your dishes before you do the thing, or finishing the things that you don't want to do, or maybe the kind of work that you don't like anymore, or if you ever did. And then being able to be creative. It's actually, as I see it, it's something that helps you walk alongside difficult times. And I don't have other difficult times at this point. Um, I have been through some other difficult times since this knitting, when I lost my daughter Ilsa to a brain aneurysm, and I could have chosen to stay looking behind me and stay in the past and wishing for a different future, and I could have stayed there if I'd chosen to, but I chose not to. I chose to learn to walk alongside the grief, learn to bring that with me into the world that I've created today, where I feel really happy and joyful. And do I miss Elsa? Of course I do. But it was leaning for me, learning to live alongside that grief was leaning into beauty. I found really helpful. I kept writing. I kept connecting with others. I kept, working with flowers in my business. I kept building other things that were creative alongside that as I was learning these new things that, let's face it, I didn't want to learn. But we don't get to decide what happens to us in life, but we do get to decide what we're going to do about it. And that is really why I have a present bag. This is really why I think that being in the present moment is so critically important, to who you are, to being fully who you are, and to have meaning in your life, and the kind of thing that you get to choose, the kind of happiness that you get to choose. And so I did my last video, and I'll link it here. I described everything that I have in my present bag, and I describe exactly what it is. But I will say now, it brings me into the present moment. It is all about living in the present moment so that you don't miss out on your life, so that you can make meaning in the way that you want to, and you have choices and agency in that. And so I have to say that it's something that I have had a chance in the last number of years to watch other women going through difficult things, and in their creative practice, it can walk alongside them. And so that's why I know that this is really powerful stuff. And and important for all of us as women who are often looking after others and maybe not making time for ourselves. Or maybe we're in a different chapter now, like I am, where I don't have caregiving responsibilities anymore. And so I do have more time, but I didn't wait until I had more time, because otherwise I wouldn't have known where to start. And sometimes it really is just about starting. I know for me, I'm working on some other things in my life, and it's like, okay, well, where do I start? Well, then I go and find out, and I take one little step at a time. I'm learning Adobe Illustrator very slowly, one step at a time. But it's those things that that we're choosing to learn for whatever reason, whether it's more movement in our life, or bringing in meditation, or reading more, or whatever it is, one little thing at a time. And I find that if there's some clarity about that, I find it easier to start. And that's why in September, on the 9th, 10th, and 11th, I'm doing a free workshop, and it's absolutely free. And we are going to have our own present bag, and we're going to make some things together, and we're going to do some things together and separately, that will end up in your present bag. And whether or not you choose to come along for my full 12-week experience that I'm doing, that I'm absolutely so excited about. But anyway, that's quite separate. This is the same theme, but it's a taste of that, and it's completely free, no obligations or anything like that, of course. And so, if you're interested, I will attach the information. If this is something that you think somebody else would benefit from, or you've been watching me for a while, and you know that this is something, the way that I do things here, in this gentle approach to coming back to one's own creativity, if you think that that's something that would be helpful for somebody, it would be a lovely gift for you to share that with them. So please join me if you wish. If this speaks to you, I would love to see you. And I always show flowers at the end, right? So here are some flowers that are not arranged, mostly dahlias, some crocosmia here, and a little scabiosa here. And this will become, or part of it, there's more to come, but this is forming the basis, just because I think these are just so pretty, of a bouquet that I'm making today for somebody who is going to be moving into her new place. And so it's a housewarming bouquet for her that she has ordered, and she'll come to the gate to pick up. So that's kind of fun. But the colors, I just think are lovely, and yeah, beautiful. So hopefully they will bring joy to her new place and life into her new home. And yeah, so it's an honor to be able to make that for somebody. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you peace on your path.